Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to my YouTube clip. So, I just had a burst of inspiration last night, and I thought, well, it's October. Normally, the government will put out a big campaign about Stoptober, so it's about stop smoking. And I thought, well, there's the run up to Christmas. Everybody's going to be trying to slim down. There's going to be all the adverts that are coming out on the TV soon. There'll be all kinds of images being bombarded upon us from magazines, on the media, all about how to slim down and lose fat, lose weight. And obviously the Christmas party invitations will be coming in thick and fast as well for you all, I'm sure. And with that, we can either be filled with glee and think, yay, a chance to get my little black dress on and show off what my mama gave me, and for others it will just be filled with dread, and the last thing you want to do is take anybody up on any party invitations, because all you do is think about your size, your weight. So it's so easy for people to just disregard what they perceive as somebody who overeats or who has a weight issue. It's never about the food, it's always about the emotions that are lying suppressed within that person. So I just wanted to have a quick discussion about it on YouTube, and maybe just give you some little bits of advice that you can take away, use at home, in the comfort of your own home, share with friends, share with family, share with anybody you know who has an issue with food, and let's just see if we can just start to make some small changes into the way that they treat themselves. So the first thing I'd like to talk to you about is your inner critic. So everybody has an inner critic. Some people find their inner critic voice motivating. Okay, fair enough. But there are other ways to talk to yourself and to get jobs done. But generally, the inner critic can be quite abusive, actually. It's that inner voice that comes from having a response or a reaction to a situation that tells you that that situation, that experience, that comment, that look, whatever's happened, is about you, and it takes you right back to the first moment you experienced XYZ emotions, be it rejection, abandonment, shame, guilt, not being worthy. All of these low level emotions sit with somebody who has a weight issue, amongst array of others. So let's just say, for instance, an example of mine. So a couple of nights ago, I had a response that triggered me back into my default setting, that inner critical voice that came in and said, you know, you'll always be alone. So the first thing I wanted to do to comfort myself is to go to the shops and buy myself a big bag of chocolate. And just as I pulled up outside the shop, I was aware of exactly what I was doing here. And instead of letting that inner critical voice keep going on and on and on and on, I was aware that that was happening, and I made a choice in that moment. Is this what I want? Do I want to have the chocolate for just because I want to? Or is there an emotional attachment to me eating this chocolate? So I made my choice, and that was absolutely fine. If you don't have the awareness and you don't feel like you're in the driving seat, then you eat every morsel of food with the negativity, you telling yourself, feeding yourself, feeling all that negativity that you're telling yourself. All that inner critical voice just keeps reverberating round and round and round and round. And what comes after that? Shame, guilt, suppression, even more beating yourself up. So the biggest thing to take away here is how you're going to change the way you talk to yourself. Would you allow, with the adult person you are, maybe as a child you did, but the adult person that you are today, would you allow another person to talk to you the way that you talk to yourself? 10 times out of 10 you'd say no, because the way we talk to ourselves, we wouldn't allow anybody else to speak to us like that. So the next time you're in a situation and something triggers you, and you automatically go to your default setting, which is reaching for food, for comfort, for support, for a barrier to protect yourself, for whatever reason you choose to eat or overeat emotionally, the next time you feel that trigger, you will get a sensation in your body, and the language will come in, that inner critical voice will come in. The next time that happens to you, I just want you to press stop. You can see a big red sign and just press stop, however way you want to do it. And within those few seconds, I want you just to be aware of what's happening for you in that moment. This is an emotional response. This is an emotional reaction to this situation. Do I make the choice to carry on, or can I choose a different choice? Whatever you choose to do is absolutely fine. Whatever you choose to do is the right choice for you in that moment. I don't care if it is to go and eat a shed load of chocolate, because you're making a choice, an informed choice, an adult choice. And if you just say you decide to eat that chocolate, when you are eating it, I want you to feel empowered. Now that may sound crazy, and it may sound like something you've never done before, but I want you to feel in control. Every mouthful you take, feel empowered that you made that choice to eat that chocolate. That it didn't come from outside of you, that you weren't in control, that it was something that just magically happened to you, that you just floated into the shop, you didn't know what you were doing, you handed over your cash and you went back and you scoffed this chocolate, and you just don't know what happened. That's so disempowering. Know that you are always in the driver's seat. Whatever choice you make is fine. Nobody is going to judge you except you. So it's time to stop judging yourself. Make a choice for yourself. Whatever you choose to do is fine. Accept it. And if you choose to take the chocolate, that's fine. Eat it with a sense of empowerment, knowing that I've made a choice to eat this and it's absolutely fine. Another thing you can look at is doing a thought balloon. So if you get yourself a pen or a piece of paper and just make some little thought bubbles. I don't know if this will work on camera, but I'll give it a go. So I don't know if you can see, but I've drawn somebody's head and a thought bubble which would come off that. And in that thought bubble, I want you to write down five sentences that you would normally say to yourself when that inner critical voice comes to play. So things for me may be you're not worthy, rejection, you'll always be abandoned. All those things are triggers for me. Now if I don't have the awareness to know when I've been triggered, my automatic reaction will be a mindless reaction, which could cause me to overeat or overreact. So write down 5 inner critical words, sentences, phrases that you tell yourself when you get triggered. And by doing this, and by writing it down and bringing it to your conscious awareness, because these are so ingrained in our subconscious, we've grown up telling ourselves these things, they're so automatic to us, we don't even realise that that's what we're doing anymore. They're just there. But once you become consciously aware, then you can start to make the change. So when you've written your list, keep them in your conscious awareness, so the next time that you get triggered and you hear that inner voice telling you you're no good, you're not worthy, you can then counteract that with a compassionate voice. Come from self-compassion, a place of self-compassion for yourself. How would you talk to somebody else if they were in your situation? What would you be telling them about themselves if they were saying, I'm not worthy? Would you agree? Would you say, yeah, you're not worthy? Or would you talk to them like a kind friend and tell them they are worthy? They are worthy of everything that they want in this life. They have every right to be here and every right to be happy. So you need to become a guardian, a gatekeeper, a bouncer of your thoughts. You need to start taking care of yourself. I want you to call it mental wealth. You need to start to become your own best friend. This takes practice, by the way. It doesn't just happen overnight, and it certainly didn't happen overnight for me. But eventually it becomes automatic. I had a lovely message from a client I coached a couple of years ago who was a little bit sceptical about the changes that could be made. And the change will only ever be made if you are prepared to put the effort in. She was definitely prepared to put the effort in despite being quite sceptical. And I received a lovely message from her the other day to say that even though she wasn't quite sure if this was going to work for her, she did put into practice what we did in the coaching sessions. And she's happy to say that now she doesn't have to think about it anymore. This new way of being is just automatic for her. So think about it. When you first learn to drive a car, to tie a shoelace, at first it seems impossible. You're never going to be able to do it. And you try and you fail, and you try and you fail, and you try, and eventually you get there through practice, determination and hard work. Learn to become your own best friend and learn to have self-compassion. Why wouldn't you want to? Why would you want to be your own worst enemy? This world can be hard enough. Start to treat yourself with love and kindness, and things will start to change for you. Obviously, weight issues have emotional underlying tendencies with them. This is something we can discuss more in depth on a personal basis. So if you did want to do that, you just have to send me a quick message at annemarielifecoach.com, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon.